Welcome back to ABC's General Hospital Spotlight, where today we delve into the emotional unraveling and quiet battles of the Corinthos and Spencer families, as three pivotal figures, Michael, Willow, and Carly, find themselves at personal crossroads that could change the course of their lives forever. **** Beneath the warm sunlight of Port Charles lies a growing storm. This time, it's not the result of mob violence or shady corporate espionage, but rather the kind of quiet chaos that brews within families, the sort of emotional turmoil that festers between choices left unspoken and truths withheld. As the world spins madly around them, Michael, Willow, and Carly each confront private demons, realizing that decisions made now will echo through every facet of their lives. For Michael, the weight of legacy and love has never felt heavier. For Willow, loyalty and personal strength are being tested by guilt and clarity. And for Carly, the need to protect her family battles against the devastating realization that she may no longer be in control of her daughter's path. This is not just another chapter in their lives, it's a turning point. Michael has always straddled two worlds, the idealism of the Quartermaines and the unrelenting grit of the Corinthos legacy. But now, more than ever, he must decide what kind of man he wants to be, not just for himself, but for his family. The illusion that he could maintain neutrality is crumbling fast. The secrets he holds, particularly regarding his father's dealings and the murky layers of protection he has woven around Willow and the children, are becoming dangerously heavy. And as the pressures mount, business crises, tension with Drew, and whispers of betrayal from within, Michael is faced with a decision he cannot delay any longer. Does he stay loyal to Sonny, the man who raised him in chaos but loved him fiercely, or does he sever ties for good and build a legacy rooted in integrity, even if it means making enemies of his own blood? This decision does not exist in a vacuum. Every day Michael hesitates, he inches closer to alienating Willow. Her patience, though seemingly limitless, is not eternal. She's begun to sense the change in him. The distance in his voice, the tiredness in his eyes, the secrets he no longer tries to hide. And it terrifies her. Willow has known pain. She has walked through fire and emerged not unscathed, but stronger. Yet even she knows that strength does not mean silence. In the quiet of their home, while brushing Amelia's hair or folding Wiley's drawings, Willow has been making her own silent vow: she will not allow her children to grow up in an environment of secrets and suppressed truths. No matter how much she loves Michael, if he continues down this shadowed path, she will walk away. Not out of anger, but out of necessity. She has fought too hard for peace to let it slip through her fingers again. This vow, though unspoken, hangs heavily in the air between them. Willow watches Michael more closely now, studying his patterns, noticing the phone calls he takes in private and the way his tone shifts when Sonny is mentioned. She isn't naive. She knows Michael is being pulled in different directions, that part of him still wants to believe he can reconcile his heritage with the man he's trying to become. But she also knows that pretending to be at peace with chaos is a lie she will no longer entertain. Her heart may be tethered to him, but her soul demands more. And she's willing to act on that demand, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, Carly has sensed the shifting tides long before anyone else. Her instinct for emotional survival is unmatched, honed by years of loss, reinvention, and clawing her way out of situations meant to destroy her. But now, that instinct is whispering something she cannot ignore. Jocelyn is drifting further away, and Carly's grip on the future of her family is slipping. For years, she's been the center of the storm, holding the family together with grit and willpower. Now, she feels like a bystander to choices she no longer controls. Jocelyn has grown into her own woman, one shaped by both her mother's resilience and her own fierce sense of justice. Carly admires that in her daughter, but it scares her too. Especially now, when Jocelyn's choices are colored by emotion and idealism, not the cautious pragmatism Carly has learned to survive by. Sitting on the edge of her bed late one night, Carly confesses to her daughter what she has been too proud to admit for months: she's scared. Not just about Jocelyn's safety, but about the world she's walking into, a world that is more dangerous and unpredictable than Jocelyn is prepared to understand. The conversation is not easy. Carly doesn't plead, but she makes her point with quiet intensity. She shares her fears about Michael, about the growing distance in the family, about the unresolved shadows still hanging over Sunny and Nina, and how all of it could fall like a house of cards if one person makes the wrong move. She doesn't want Jocelyn to be the next casualty of that fallout. She's seen too much heartbreak, too many good intentions turn to ash. And though she knows her daughter is headstrong, Carly wants her to remember that strength without wisdom is a dangerous weapon. Whether Jocelyn hears her or not remains to be seen, but the truth has been spoken. What binds Michael, Willow, and Carly in this moment is more than family. It's the weight of legacy, the cost of silence, and the fragile hope that love, when tested, can survive the war against itself. As Michael approaches the final days before his decision must be made, his world becomes increasingly claustrophobic. Meetings feel like interrogations. Every conversation with Sunny is laced with subtext. Even innocuous chats with Wiley are laced with dread. What stories will he one day hear about his grandfather, and what version of those stories will Michael choose to tell? Willow, meanwhile, stands at a precipice of self-redemption. After a life shaped by emotional abuse and manipulation, she has carved a path toward autonomy. But loving Michael has always meant compromise. Now, she must decide how much more she is willing to give before she loses herself entirely. Her vow is not just about protecting her children. It's about reclaiming the agency that was once stripped from her. And though she may still wear the ring, in her heart she is already walking toward the door, measuring the cost of goodbye. Carly, ever the strategist, begins laying quiet plans of her own. She reconnects with old allies, taps into resources she hasn't used in years, and reasserts herself within the quiet power networks of Port Charles. If her family is going to collapse, she'll be damned if she goes down without a plan. But even as she moves the chess pieces, there's a sadness in her that she cannot shake. This was never the future she imagined, not for her son, not for her daughter, and certainly not for herself. As the days unfold, small cracks become chasms. Jocelyn begins to question her mother's concern, wondering if Carly's fear is actually rooted in guilt over past choices that shape the dangerous world they live in. Willow starts to pull emotionally away from Michael, not in anger but in quiet self-preservation. And Michael, in the end, finds himself utterly alone in a room filled with people, wondering when he stopped recognizing the man in the mirror. The choice before him isn't just about business or loyalty, it's about identity. He can follow in Sunny's footsteps and accept the consequences that come with power and secrecy. Or he can break the cycle, dismantle the empire of silence, and face the storm that honesty will surely bring. No matter what he chooses, someone will bleed. And that is the nature of the burden he carries now. To protect one part of his family means risking another. The storm gathering over Port Charles is not marked by gunfire or courtroom battles this time. It is a war waged in whispers, in the stillness between confessions, in the looks exchanged across dinner tables where nothing is said but everything is understood. As Michael, Willow, and Carly inch closer to decisions they can no longer defer, the entire fabric of their lives is about to shift. And when the dust settles, the question won't be who won or lost, it will be whether love, in its truest form, can still find its way through the ruins.